Should you take a cash offer from an investor buyer who approaches you directly about your home? Or should you list it on the open market in an effort to optimize and maximize your hard-earned home equity and investment? Hi, I'm Sam Wilson with the Sam Wilson Home Selling Team at eXp Realty, and I'm here to show you the difference. Now, what inspired me to make this video is a recent client who was approached by one of these investor buyers directly before the home was on the open market and made them an offer and made it sound too good to be true. Then they contacted us, and the long story short is that we sold the home and put almost $30,000 more in their pocket at closing. And I'm here to show you how that works, what the differences are, so that you can make an educated decision. I'm not here to tell you to do it one way or the other, because quite frankly, I can bring you both kinds of buyers. I have investor buyers that will make you cash offers before you put the home on the market, and I can put the home on the open market, market it to all the buyers, and drive the price up, thus putting more money in your pocket, both with similar ease. So I want to take you through that here. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to explain it thoroughly. So this is going to be a little bit longer than my normal videos. So let's go ahead and jump in. So we've got two different situations here. We've got what we call the iBuyer, the investor buyer, the instant buyer. You may see their ads on TV, hear them on the radio and other places. They may be sending postcards directly to your home. Well, the reason why is because they are just that. They're investors. They're looking to profit. Investors invest for profit, period. Homeowner occupants buy for other needs. They buy for their family, stability, and of course for the long-term investment. These folks are looking for the quick return or even cash flow from rents. So it's two different situations, and there are different benefits to either one, and I'll be very open and transparent about that, because again, I'm not trying to suggest one way or the other. I'm just trying to show you the facts. So we had a recent client who contacted or was contacted by one of these investor buyers, and they made it sound, of course, let's say too good to be true, but they position themselves as an easy purchase. You have no showings, you don't have those hassles, you can sell the home as is, but I want to dispel some of those myths. Whereas when we put it on the market, we marketed it to all the buyers and we're able to get competitive offers driving the price up. So, first of all, with an iBuyer, which is really just one, that's just one buyer, right? So one buyer has no competition. So how does the seller know if they're getting their money's worth? Well, these folks show up with an analysis of what the quote-unquote value of your home is. Well, isn't the real value what a buyer's willing to pay? And isn't it more to your advantage money-wise if you have multiple buyers making multiple offers and bidding the price up? We'll get to that in a second. But this is just one buyer. And this buyer offered them, and these numbers are not exact, I just wanted to use round numbers that are close to what actually happened to make the math a little more simple and to give you a property at the market average so you can see on average what's happening, what the differences are. So by the way, the current market average is $647,000. So the iBuyer essentially offered them $630,000. Okay, $630,000. So then, of course, they make it sound so easy, as is, and all that. But please, please, please read the fine print on these companies and these offers you're receiving if you choose to go that way, because they charge what's called a convenience fee. Yes, they say no commissions. Well, call it what you want. It's still a fee. So I'm just calling these fees, all right? And of course, there's your normal fees like title. You got to pay your taxes off. You got to get a tax certificate. There's small fees involved in every sale, but the big one is commissions or convenience fees. So these guys call it a convenience fee, and on their offer it had 5% plus 1%. So pretty easy math, that's 6%. The 5% was the quote convenience fee. The 1% they called a flex fee. I still don't know what that was for, but I imagine it's for finding inspection issues, because they are going to walk through the property. When they made this offer, it was sight unseen. So they do have stipulations for quote walkthroughs, and if there's significant health or safety or structural issues, you can count on them asking for some concessions, some repairs, a lower price. They're not going to buy the property as is if it's detrimental to their investment. Does that make sense? Okay. So you still have a total of about a 6% fee, and just running the math, that's about $37,800 in fees. Okay. So at $37,800 in fees off the $630,000 price, that's a net to the seller of about $592,000. Okay, $592,000 net. Now, the other benefits, of course, there's additional benefits, and you know, we can call that convenience. We can call that, as they call it, as is, which it may or may not be really. They may even be willing to rent the property back to you. So there are programs out there called Sell and Stay, where they'll negotiate 1, 2, 3 months, maybe even up to 6 months, where you can stay in the home, but it ain't going to be free. They might give you the first month or two, quote, free, but then they will start charging you rent to stay in your own home, or what was your own home. So those are just decisions you have to make. And if these benefits are better for you and your family, then this is the better way to go. I'm not here to sway you to a full market listing just because I'm a realtor. Again, I have 2 or 3 of these buyers that'll make an offer on your home, and they'll even allow me to show you what I'm about to show you, so you can make a fair comparison with no pressure and no fear of making a bad decision. When I meet with you in person, I can lay this out given your situation. Obviously, I need to know about you and your family and your plans, where are you moving to, you know, and what's in it for you. Because let's face it, guys, there's so much equity in your home right now. If you bought more than 2 years ago, or at least 2 years ago, there's incredible equity in your home, and it may be worth it to you to take less money to make it a little bit easier. You know, the one big advantage is the convenience. There's no showings. There's no showings. There's zero. There's the one walkthrough or inspection. All right, so let's look at what happened in this example. So we came to them with a higher price opinion, and we thought we could sell the home and market it to all the buyers. Okay, and let me make a point about that. So right now, the statistics show that the average number of showings on a property are 27 in the first weekend. And we don't know how many offers sellers are receiving, but I can tell you that in my listings, about 1/3 of those showings result in an offer. So let's say 9 offers out of 27 showings. So, and that's only in the first 2 or 3 days. I mean, we'll make a property live on Friday night, so showings are Saturday and Sunday. Offer deadlines are usually Sunday night or Monday. So it might not even be all the people who wanted to see it. They could have been out of town, whatever. But my point is 27 showings on average, and then we're getting offers from about 1/3 of those people. And the offers seem to start at or around the listing price. So in this case, we ended up with an offer. We had a higher listing price, and we pushed it because we knew what their safety net would be. Their safety net would be taking the offer from the iBuyer. Well, we pushed it to $660,000. And again, these are round numbers. I'm being conservative. It was actually a little bit higher, but we ended up with the best offer. We had a couple of offers that were actually higher than 660, but they were contingent or had too many stipulations. And in this market, a seller doesn't have to take a lot of stipulations. That's why I'm using this example, because these are minimum stipulations from the iBuyer. They're minimum. So we want to compare apples to apples, and we got this buyer here at $660,000 to take the property also as is with minimum stipulations. So you see how it's, very similar. We could have had $675,000, but they had a home to sell first, which wasn't even on the market yet. We're not going to advise our sellers in this market to take that kind of offer unless they really have plenty of time to wait and are willing to take the risk that that other buyer doesn't get their home sold. Again, another advantage to investor buyers is they have cash. They don't have to sell another home first or anything like that. So the risk is if you take the higher offer, say we did take the 675, well, in that case, we have risk, right? We have to wait for them to list and sell their home, and if they don't or don't get as much as they wanted, then we have to take them out, kick them out, and start over. If that's okay with you, that's an option and maybe worth the risk. In this case, it wasn't. In this, I want to be apples to apples. So at $660,000, our commission was the same as their fees. So we'll just keep that simple. That's 6%. Okay, and by the way, our fees are negotiable. What most realtors don't want you to know is that by law, commissions are negotiable. So if we need to work with you a little bit on commission, and by the way, this is split between the buyer agent and the seller agent, and more, you're going to see that the split is changing. So too much for this video. Maybe that's a whole nother video. But at any rate, again, I'm just using apples to apples. So at a 6% fee, I've got the number here. We're at a fee here of $39,600. $39,600. So this netted the seller $620,000. Okay, a little bit north of $620,000. So you can see we've got about plus $28,000 in the seller's pocket from listing it on the open market to all the buyers. So having said that now, let me still keep it apples to apples. So we were able to negotiate at a higher price that this buyer, because of the competition, was willing to take the property as is. They did their walkthrough. They had an inspector come over. There were zero issues that were significant enough for them to ask for any kind of concession. So it was a straight price with no concessions. And then we got to closing in 30 days. Okay, so yeah, an investor buyer might be able to close a little bit faster, but we probably could too. The point is that this was comfortable for the seller, 30 days to get moved out and on their way to their new home. The buyer was perfectly happy with that as well. So you can see that in an apples to apples comparison, that the seller netted a serious amount of money more in their pocket at the end of the sale, still with very minimal hassle. There was 1 weekend of showings, essentially just a couple of days, and then they walked away with that kind of extra money in their pocket. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you can see some of the differences. Obviously, every situation is different. That's why I bring you both options. Okay, I'm the only guy in town that is willing to bring you an investor where, by the way, if I bring you the investor, I'm out. I'm out. I get no commission. You pay me nothing if I bring the investor. You want to take this lower offer? Yeah, sure. They're still going to have a few convenience fees, but I am not going to charge you anything for doing that. It's just a free service for me to bring you the options. No obligation to ever list and sell. If you do decide to list and sell, of course, I would love to be your agent. So if you'd like to find out more, if you'd like to get a full market opinion of the price of your home, not only what it's worth today, but what it'll sell for when we put it on the open market versus, one investor buyer, it's my pleasure to come do the homework first and then come sit down and chat with you. I also have lots of valuable information here on my website, everything from a complete home selling kit to valuable monthly information about what's happening in the market. Check out my YouTube channel, peruse my website here. It's always free. There's never any obligation. And I even give back to the community in which I serve. You can see some of that in here as well. So it's my pleasure. I'm thrilled that you had a chance to watch the video. Call, text, or email me anytime. I'm Sam Wilson with the Sam Wilson Home Selling Team at eXp Realty. Thank you. Thank you very much.